there everyone, good afternoon, good morning rather, and welcome to Market Fatafat right here on ET Now. While the currency continues to dominate headlines, it's the market that's taking a bit of a backseat. Nonetheless, 10,700 is intact, with the broader end of the market looking quite tempered. Well, this is a show where we get you a comprehensive and crisp wrap of all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. Let's bring on board our team of research analysts and Hemen Kapadia, who's with us on the technicals. Well, let's start off then with the first stock in news, and that is Yes Bank. Well, ET Now gets it right yet again with our exclusive information, as we have a third board member that has seen a resignation in just the last 1 week. Our Chandrashekhar has quit the board of Yes Bank. The stock, in fact, is under pressure, down for the fourth straight day out of the last 5 trading sessions. It's one of the top losers, not just on the frontline index, but on the Nifty Bank as well. And that's Yes Bank for you at 195. Well, let's move on then and get in another large cap name, and that's UPL. Hemen, let's understand what exactly your outlook is on the stock. Where is it headed, as it's currently struggling in trade today?
Yes, Avan. Firstly, the stock has had a very sharp run-up. Secondly, it is getting oversold. The hourly and the 2 hourly charts the MACD has given crossover sell after reflecting negative divergence. Simply put, I think the stock run was the work for correct place. So I would have a sell.
Oops, that's the outlook coming in with respect to UPL. A sell on the stock, given the fact that it's rallied now, it seems like it's getting overbought at 761. Moving on, let's get in a check as to what's going on with those PSU banks in trade, Mubina.
Well, most of them seem to be declining in trade. We have witnessed Dana Bank, Corporation Bank, all of these guys had actually rallied immediately post the RBI board meeting, or rather just about mid-afternoon in the afternoon trade. However, today we are witnessing cracks coming in, and across the board, all of them seem to be declining in trade, perhaps with the fact that the RBI board meeting was more or less of a no-event thing that did come out. People were expecting something, some relaxation of sorts on the PCA norms. That did not come out. Just panels and committees have been created, so kicking the can down the road, and hence you are seeing selling pressure.
All right, that's the take coming in on how the PSU banks are receiving it, all of the stocks which are under pressure. Well, let's move on then and get you a take on Jet Airways. That stock too is in the news today, and a little bit of caution being reflected by the boards, that is Tata Sun. In fact, they said that no conclusive decision should be taken until and unless there has been proper due diligence which has been done with respect to recovering Jet Airways. So as of now, nothing will be done in a hurry. No steps will be taken until and unless there has been a proper advice that's been taken. They plan to appoint external consultants as well for the purpose of this, and the Tata Sons board has clearly said, do not rush into the deal. 2.5% down, a very volatile candidate. That's Jet Airways for you at 340. Well, let's shift gears then and Siddharth talk a little bit about Just Dial. Quite a smart stock on a day with which the market is extending its declines. What's the take?
Well, more than price, I'm surprised with the kind of build-up the stock is showing, Avan. 27%, yes, 27% rise in open interest, and as you mentioned about the price, which means that this is formation of long positions. And interestingly, on chart also, the stock is really poised for a breakout. If you look at the resistance level of 515, right now it's trading around 510, but the way the formation of position is there, the way price action is there, it seems that 515 resistance might get challenged. And if that happens, Avan, then that would be like after 2-3 weeks of consolidation, stock will give a breakout, and that again would have a positive implications.
Watch out, that's the view coming in on Just Dial, quite a smart mover in trade. Meantime, Hemen, we just flagged off OBC, but let's talk about the rest of the banks. It's not like all of the PSU banks are being covered under one basket. Indian Bank seems to be bucking the trend. There's a nice price volume breakout. What is it that the charts are suggesting today?
Well, frankly, our Indian Bank looks more like a corrective bounce. We are in a long-term, medium-term, short-term downtrend on all time frame. But yes, we have an oversold situation on the daily charts. We haven't broken 220 after multiple attempts. So I think it would be a sell-on bounce. The situation still hasn't ended, and we remain weak, notwithstanding a small bounce because of a oversold situation.
All right, that's the view coming in on Indian Bank, bucking the trend and quite smartly at that. Meantime, Mubina, let's get in a brokerage take, and Motilal Oswal has come out with their report on L&T Finance. What is the target? What do they have to say?
Well, Motilal Oswal seems to be pretty optimistic on L&T Finance. They have a buy with a target at 175 rupees, as they believe that this is a company that has transformed itself in 2 years with more than 20 product lines. However, we do have Morgan Stanley as well that has across the board cut the target prices of NBFC. So you are seeing some selling pressure creep in. L&T Finance as well, while it has bounced back from the day's low, has once again come over, and now it's just at about 132 odd rupees. So yes, this one too, along with most of the NBFCs, is declining in trade.
All right, keep an eye out on L&T Finance, currently at 133. Meantime, let's talk about some of the other NBFCs and which are the top bets. Karanya is here to flag off what exactly the take is from Morgan Stanley.
Well, Avan, essentially Morgan Stanley is sounding extremely cautious about most of these NBFCs. They believe that the funding situation is slowly and steadily evolving, but they are confident that most of these stocks will continue to remain in the volatile territory. They've cut the EPS forecast mainly on lower loan growth assumptions and also factored in risks via lower valuation multiples. However, their ratings are unchanged, but they have slashed their target prices quite significantly, even for their top picks, which feature the likes of M&M Financial and HDFC Limited. For M&M, this target price is now 2290 versus 2400 earlier. For Shriram Transport, it's come in at 1515 rupees from 1650. And even Shriram City Union, which is also among one of the companies which they are confident about, they've slashed it all the way from 2100 to 1425. So despite the rating being unchanged, target price has significantly come down for most NBFCs.
Yes, that's the take coming in from Morgan Stanley on the NBFC basket. Well, let's move on then to a heavyweight from the consumption pocket, and that's ITC, which is really looking flat in trade today. In fact, it was gaining in trade today, and the stock has incidentally climbed above the 200 DMA. You have a lot of analysts which are fairly upbeat, but as we speak, it's come off marginally. Meantime, Siddharth, let's talk about what's going on with SRF. Where are we seeing a breakout?
Well, yes, if you look at this stock, we have seen yesterday also price action was very positive. In fact, today morning some of our technical experts were recommending this stock. Look at the volumes. Yesterday we saw significantly high volume, and that volume was twice of average volume. Today, in first 2.5 hours, Avan, we have already seen 75% of yesterday's high volume. So you can understand what kind of volume the stock is going through today. And there is clearly a breakout above that 2100 resistance zone, with formation of long position in futures. So both technically and from derivatives perspective, the statistics are indicating that the stock might have further upside.
All right, 2121, that's where SRF is currently perched at. Well, let's keep the countdown going then. PSC is a stock that's buzzing in trade today. Heymain, do you believe that, there is more up move on the cards?
Well, yes. We posted a fresh 7-month high in PFC. Avan, we are in a medium-term uptrend. The oscillators on the weekly chart are in buy mode, supporting the move. I would say a hold with a stop loss of 98. We have previous resistance at around 108.50. Above that, a further upside seems possible.
That's the view coming in on PFC. Upside, perhaps on the cards. Meantime, Oil India is the newsmaker today. Mubina?
Well, yes, and you are seeing the stock price on an intraday basis gain as much as close to 2% to 203.5 rupees a piece. Remember, the board approved two things. Well, firstly, the buyback, which came to about 4.45% of the total paid up share capital, or 5 odd crore shares, and this would be at a price point of 215 rupees. That comes to 1086 crore rupees. The record date is for 3rd December. And secondly, they've also approved raising foreign currency debt securities worth 4,000 crore rupees. So that is something that's caused Oil India as well to be a big newsmaker today in trade.
All right, watch out for Oil India, the buyback at 215. Meantime, there is Aurobindo Pharma that might not be very perky in trade, but nonetheless, it's positive news, Karanya.
Right, there is a US FDA approval on back of which Aurobindo Pharma is in focus today, Avan. They've got a nod for ketorolac tromethamine. It's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. It's not a very key drug for the company, but yes, it's fairly significant is what my checks have told me. The people who track the pharma space, and 4 other players are also subsequently likely to get an approval for this drug. However, it is still an important approval to watch out for.
All right, that's 789. Aurobindo Pharma, fairly positive news. Meantime, let's pull up a stock within the metals basket, and this one is in news today. NMDC is just about flat in today's session, but nonetheless, there has been no decision on Donimalai lease by the Karnataka government as of now. The operations have been suspended, so we'll have to wait and watch what the pending decision is. Clutching onto 100, that's NMDC in trade for you. Moving right on, then let's talk about another PSU bank then, shall we? And it's Bank of India this time that's caught your eye, Siddharth.
Yeah, and some short positions. In fact, Avan, we have been talking on our channel that how some of the PSU banks are doing pretty well and adding long position. Contrary to that, today we are seeing some formation of short position. Case in point, Bank of India, now this resistance of 90 is getting more prominence and it's getting more strength. So that is a key level to watch out for if you're a bullish trader. Because till the time it doesn't go above that level, I think this range bound consolidation with some correctiveness would be there. And as I mentioned, there's formation of short positions. But on this basis, will stock crack substantially? Answer to that is no, because the underlying momentum in most of the PSU banks is positive. So this is just a statistics, but traders should take note of it.
Welcome back. This is Market Fatafat, and red is the color of the day on the screens, and the next stock as well. Hindalco is down about 4% at 223. Right time to buy him in?
No, I wouldn't think so, Avan. The stock is looking weak. It's posted a lower top, lower bottom on the daily chart. Indicators are in sell mode, and we've seen a 12.5% OI addition. And looking at the price movement, it looks like a short position. Further downside seems possible.
All right, that's the word coming in. Not a good time to buy right now. Oscillators are still in the sell mode. GMR Infra is buzzing then today. Mubina, what's the take?
Well, some news coming in with respect to the AERA that's allowing the Delhi International Airport or DIAL to charge base airport charges of about 10% of the BAC charges, that's base airport charges. Now, this is something that would benefit GMR Infra because they essentially operate and maintain the DIAL or the Delhi International Airport. They've confirmed the airport's contractual right to base airport charges, and this is something that's a positive. Hence, you are seeing the stock go up in trade.
Yes, it's active in today's trading session. But moving on, so is Gail. Yesterday was the newsmaker. Today, Goldman Sachs has come out with their report, Karanya.
That's right. Goldman Sachs is actually quite positive on this particular counter. They've upgraded it to a buy, and they are calling it the Goliath within the oil and gas space, and they're saying it's time now to back this up. Target price given by Goldman Sachs is 490 rupees. They expect Gail to have the highest earnings growth amidst all of the other oil and gas names they are covering at this point of time, mainly driven by a reversal of relative underperformance seen in the last few years. So they're expecting a reversal of reversal of sorts happening. In fact, they're also saying the valuations are looking extremely attractive at this point of time, and in fact the fact that it is the largest gas pipeline operator with 70% market share is now pricing in core transmission business, which could once again
That's the view coming in on Gail India, 2% higher. Meantime, Indiabulls Housing Finance continues to remain quite a choppy contender in trade. It's declining for the 5th straight day on the trot, and in the last 5 days has shaved off something like 15%. The consensus price target is about 64% higher than where it's currently trading at. Volumes are about 26% below the 20-day average, and you're seeing short build-up right now, 721. Moving on to that, at number 20, it's NTPC.
Well, short build-up here too, Avan, and we are seeing, decent price correction too. But then what's missing is volumes, and what is interesting is that stock is heading towards its strong support of 150. So don't be in a hurry to short the stock. Let's see how it reacts around 150 because volumes are also less in this fall.
All right, watch out for NTPC, down 1% in trade. Moving right on, then ITI is a stock that on the broader end of the market is really flaring up. In fact, let's understand which way it's headed. Heyman, based on your readings, where are you placing your targets and stop losses?
Avan, firstly, short and medium term uptrend about the 55-day exponential moving average. We are walking into a virtual roadblock at 98, post which we should be heading towards 105. So the way I look at it, I'm not sure if it's a fresh buy, but it's a very clear, strong move.
All right, that's the take coming in above 55 DMA. Meantime, let's move on, Mubina, and talk about another FMCG name, and that is Colgate. Its short is active today.
Well, that it is. This is after Credit Suisse has maintained an outperform stance on Colgate with a target at 1375 rupees. Not just that, they've come out with a very optimistic note as they are believed of a turnaround that could be possible in Colgate. Of course, margins will be a little unpredictable in the initial phase, but market share trends, volume growth, that as well may be volatile. But this is something that they are flagging off. They also say that low earnings expectation make risk-reward ratio for this stock favorable, and hence on the back of this optimistic note, the stock is buzzing.
All right, watch out for Colgate, 1375, that's the target, that's on Credit Suisse's radar. Moving right on, what's the news when it comes to AGG, Karunya?
The news is that they are mulling a plan for buyback. The board meet is on the 26th of November, so watch out for that.
All right, that's the view coming in on the stock. Watch out, buyback is the next announcement. Blue Star, meantime, is a stock that has put the brakes on its gaining streak. In fact, you had seen the stock surge quite smartly at nearly 30% from the recent lows. It's trading above its 50 as well as its 200 DMA, but now has put the brakes on that and is currently down 3.5%. So that, let's chat a little bit about Glenmark. What is it that we're seeing in terms of levels?
Well, Glenmark is showing, negative trend. We are seeing correction taking place in the stock. We are also seeing some formation of short positions. In fact, around 200 DMA, it's 580 levels. That can be the level where stock can take some support. And the resistance have been developed around 680-700 zone.
All right, down at the lowest point of the trading day. It's come off from that level of about 647, trading at 627. That's Glenmark for you in trade. Moving right on, BEML is a stock that really seems to be bucking the trend decisively above the 750 mark. Hemant, the question is, does it sustain here?
Yes, I think it's a very strong hold. It's moved a bit, otherwise it would have quantified as a buy. Short and medium term uptrend, Avan, stop loss 730, target 770, have given a breakout from a 10 trading session consolidation phase. Indicators positive, 12.5% long built up, Avan.
All right, hold on. That's the stock, that's the take coming in. Target price 770. Mubina, we don't chat about this stock too often, but there is news in PSP Projects. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, PSP Projects has announced that the company has bagged new industrial and institutional projects worth 372 crore rupees from various clients, including 2 projects of 208 crore rupees, in which the company has been ranked as the L1 bidder. Now, this includes Torrance Care Institute, some orders received from there for the construction of a hospital building, orders from the Ahmedabad University for the construction of a student activity sector, and with this, the total work orders received during FY19 stands at 804 crore rupees. The stock price, however, has come off from the day's high.
All right, it sure has. It's just about flat as we speak in trade right now. But Colgate and Infra, on the other hand, is having a rip-roaring session, Karunya.
That it is. Its Singapore subsidiary, Swee Hong, has won orders worth nearly 200 crore rupees. It's primarily for construction of linked sewers of DTSS Phase 2 project for the Public Utilities Board of Singapore, and that's the reason why the stock is a buzz.
Very smart move that you're seeing on the stock in trade today. Well, pull up Page Industries. That stock is at the highest point of the trading day. It's moved very steadily in one single trading session now by about 3.5%. Remember, on the sidelines of the Economic Times Awards, one of the key winners as well we interacted with was the management, Mr. Jenumal of Page Industries, and he spoke a little bit about the company's growth prospects. He said that they are very well positioned for strong growth within the sector and that the shift to the formal industry is going to drive strong growth. And he said that they are very confident of strong growth despite the fact that the previous quarter was a bit weak. They will look forward to steady growth in their financials. ET Now Impact in that stock is currently trading at the high point of the trading day, 27,500 on the screen. And finally, to the last stock, and that is Bharat Finance. Let's talk a little bit about which way it's headed. Siddharth, take us through the volume and trends today.
Firstly, we are seeing high volume activity and 950 resistance has been breached. We are not seeing major formation of long positions, Avan, but the volumes, not just in equity but also in futures market, are pretty high. That ensures that the stock falls in Fatafat list.
All right, that's the take at 972, 2% higher. But with that, thanks much to our entire team for joining in. and giving us a lowdown on all the stocks to watch out for. We'll wrap it up on the show. Stay tuned for Markets at Noon.